Right, switching it on, we get this screen come up every time. People may have seen this before with any experience of XP, people may not have. But choosing any of the options, start Windows normally, safe mode with networking, or safe mode with command prompt, or last name good configuration, does come up with the following screens. If it's going to this time, okay, so it looks like it's going to open up normally. We've got a really quick blue screen, and then it just restarts. It's been doing that quite a few times. It's not going to go into Windows from what it looks like. So what we need to do, I need to come away from that screen and get to a different one. I need to get to the blue screen where I can keep it on screen so I know what it's saying and what it's talking about. And the way I do that is by tapping F5 on the keyboard. It gets us to this screen. This is only with Windows XP. Windows Vista, Windows 7, it's works in a different way. What I want to do is go to disable automatic restart on system failure. The system failure is when the blue screen comes up, and the automatic restart is what Windows tries to do every time unless it's told not to try to go into Windows again. Because the problem isn't going to go away, it just keeps trying to do that again and again and again. It would do that constantly if it was allowed to, but instead we're not letting it, so we can see what's going on. Okay, right, unmountable boot volume. In my experience I've seen this quite a few times. What that means is when the computer was last switched off or at last restarted, it didn't shut down properly, which is what it should have done to be able to switch back on properly the next time we switch it back on. So that's why it says unmountable boot volume, because the boot volume can't be mounted, so it can't go into Windows just like normal. So that's why it says unmountable boot volume. The only cure for this, from what I've seen up until now, is reinstalling Windows. So that's what is going to be done. Not too difficult a job, but there is a lot of information on this, a lot of very important information for the company it belongs to that needs to be saved first. So we're going to connect this up to a data recovery machine of ours. We're going to see what's recoverable on there and then get Windows back on. Okay, what I'm going to be doing to save the data from this is first opening up the computer, quite literally, as you can see. Then I'm going for the hard drive, which is at the end of this cable just here. I'm going to be connecting it to our data recovery machine and getting off everything necessary. Then reinstalling Windows. I've got the hard drive connected to the computer now, as you can see here. That's the hard drive out of it. Now the machine I use, this machine in the white case, it's got Windows Vista on it, 64-bit, Home Premium. Not that makes too much of a difference, I don't think. And it's come up with this after the Windows loading screen. The reason is that the hard drive here has got problems, and Windows Vista has recognised that. I've seen Windows Vista do this quite a few times. I think I've got a couple of YouTube movies out there somewhere with this as well, in very similar circumstances. Not with the unmountable boot volume that this computer has got, but just generally Windows not starting up. Now with this, Windows Vista is obviously trying to fix the problems, which is good, because what I've seen after this point is putting it back in the computer fixes the problem. Now I'm going to let this finish. I'm not going to disturb it. I'm just going to let it go back into Windows, maybe take a look to see if there's any information on there. I'll see what information is on there. I'm guessing it's all going to be safe anyway, because even though a computer may not go into Windows, it doesn't mean that the information is lost. So, like I say, I'm going to let this finish, then I'll be taking a quick look at the information on the hard drive, put it back in the computer, and then see if we can get it switched back on. Into Windows now. Just looking at the messages that have come up. As you may know, when it comes to Vista, any new hardware, you get these kind of messages. generic volume, and then Mac Store, which is the make of the hard drive, that one there. So we close that, then it just wants to restart after installing the new hardware. I'm just going to ignore that for now. I'm just going to go straight into computer. Okay, there's 3 volumes there. The local disk C is the 160 gig hard drive that's in the computer. That 1 terabyte hard drive is used for data backup that's also inside the computer. And this one here is the one attached. There we go. Okay, so just looking at the whole window again, double click on that. Right, so this is the information that we're looking at right now, the contents of this hard drive. I'm not really going to move on with that at the moment. The message did come up saying it did want me to restart the computer, even though if I do that and then maybe go to something like the Windows folder, it should take me through. It'll take a minute or two maybe. Okay, there we go. Right, so in the Windows folder now, looking at any information in there. I am going to restart, well, I'm going to switch it off. Like I mentioned earlier about the corrections that have been made by Vista on this hard drive, I'm just going to put it back in the computer and then see if we can get it switched back on and into Windows.